guys, what's up? It's Marissa and I'm back for another booktube video, and I am doing a TBR. I never do TBRs. I know, that's what you're saying right now. But you know what? I am doing 2 readathons in September that I just decided I wanted to participate in. So I'm actually making a TBR for it so that I actually might complete them, or at least one of them. So the first one is a fairly small one and it's fairly short. It's called the Zodiac-a-thon. And that one is 4 prompts and it is based on your zodiac sign and your moon sign and your sun sign. So I will link all that information down below. It is something that I found on Twitter and it seemed pretty cool. It runs from September 4th to September 8th, so it is only 4 days long and 4 prompts. The first prompt in the Zodiac-a-thon is a buddy read with your moon sign. My moon sign is an Aries, so I had to find another Aries moon to buddy read with and ended up finding 2. So all 3 of us are going to buddy read Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. So the next one is read a book that's outside of your comfort zone, and I actually got 2 for this one. That is your sun sign and your sun ascending sign, and both of mine were Cancer, and I am a Cancer, so I get the same prompt twice. So I only picked 1 book because feasibly there's no way I'm probably going to finish like 1 book during this whole readathon, but I'm going to try. So that is Take Off by Joseph Reid, and I actually have that on Kindle, so I will go ahead and throw up a picture of that over here so that you guys can see it. So then the next prompt is read a character-driven book. So for read a character-driven book, I chose Truly Madly Guilty by Liane Moriarty, and this one I read Big Little Lies, and it was a character-driven book, so I'm assuming that this one is also a character-driven book. The next readathon that I decided that I wanted to take part in was the Hogwarts house battles, and it seems like a pretty cool premise. You're actually battling it out every single day for house points by how many pages you read and what prompts you finish, and basically these are all based on the schools, or the classes, not the schools. So these are all based on classes. There are 16 different prompts, which means 16 different books. So this readathon actually runs all the way through the month of September, starts on September 1st, ends on September 30th. So the first one is Alchemy. Read a book recommendation from a friend. And I'm going with The Tattooist of Auschwitz. Now, this one I have seen many people talk about on BookTube. I really don't have any friends that read, so I'm just going off of a hyped book, basically. The next one is Apparition, and only read this book in public. And that one I am going to do an Audible book, and that is Good Omens by Terri Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. And the way I'm going to do this in public is because while I'm driving to and from work, technically I guess that's considered public. Arithmancy. So that is read a book with a number in the title, and that one I still have yet to pick up, but I'm going to have to pick it up this weekend, and that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And the next one is Astronomy, and that is only read this book at night. Any of my Kindle books. So I'm going to do The Frame Up by Megan Scott Molin. This one I actually had on my Kindle TBR. Nikki at I Only Read Past My Bedtime, she's been hyping this book up and the series up for a while now, and she said I should go read it, and I started looking at buying it, and Amazon said you already have it, and I was like, what? The next one is Care of Magical Creatures, and that is read a book with an animal on the cover. For that one, I am going to do The Horse Dancer by JoJo Moyes. This one, I can't remember. Oh, I picked this up at Ollie's. I honestly have no idea what it's about, but I am a horse lover, so it's got a horse on the cover, so I'm going to read it. Next one is Charms, and that is read a new to you book. This prompt, I am going with Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. I honestly didn't even know that Veronica Roth had even written any other books. Next one is Defense Against the Dark Arts, and that is read a book you previously put down. This one, I'm going with a loose interpretation. This is the Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and this is it's like a comic book format. It's not even really a graphic novel. It's a bind up of comics. And I started reading it and I put it down because it's a little dark, so I can only read a couple of them at a time before I'm like, okay, I need to read something a little more light and fluffy there. Divination. Read a predicted 5-star read. So I'm going with Truly Madly Guilty by Liane Moriarty, and honestly, after Big Little Lies, I highly anticipate all or most all of her books to be 5-star reads. This one is Flying. It's Read Your Most Anticipated Book, and that I'm going with Romanov by Nadine Brandis, and that one is actually in the mail right now. I actually bought it from somebody off of a like an Owl Crate swap buy group where you can sell items from your book subscription crates. So I actually bought that one off of there. It is currently in the mail. I haven't received it yet, so I will definitely be getting that and reading that. Is Herbology. Read a book that means a lot to you. For this one, I am going with Memoirs of a Geisha. I have read this book before, and I'm gonna reread this book. I've had it on my shelf for a little bit now. I just haven't dived into it yet because it is really deep and really meaningful, and it shows you a whole new side to Japan that you never really thought about. And like, you know, of course this takes place before, during, and after World War II. So it really gives you a glimpse into the devastation of a culture that happened because of, you know, their mistakes during World War II. So it's an absolutely wonderful read. History of Magic. Read a book from another generation. That one I am going with another audio book, and that is The Hobbitt by JRR Tolkien. And again, I have actually read this book before. I think I read it when I was in high school or something, but obviously it's from another generation, so I'm going to go ahead and do the audiobook of that. Muggle Studies. Read a hyped book. Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This one is so supremely hyped, I think because the next one's coming out or just came out or something, Wayward Son, which I think it's really funny because Carry On, My Wayward Son is, you know, like the theme song for the TV show Supernatural, and I am a Supernatural stan, if you can't tell by the Supernatural tattoo. So yeah, potions. Read a genre you wouldn't normally pick up. That is, again, Takeoff by Joseph Reid. That one I'm doubling up again with the Zodiac-a-thon. Study of Ancient Runes. Read a classic novel. This one I'm going to read The Further Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I kind of already started this one and put it down because I just wasn't in the mood for it. Transfiguration. Read the Last Book You Bought. Version by Blake Crouch. I just picked this one and a couple other ones up from the Barnes & Noble 50% off sale, and I'm not freaking done yet because I'm going back there this weekend. I know, shame, shame, shame on me. Slytherin book for this readathon is Wilder Girls by Rory Power, and yes, I know, I am a Ravenclaw, and I will say it all day long. I tested out as Slytherin, so I ended up deciding to join the Slytherin team because when I checked how big the teams were, the Ravenclaw team had over like 200 people and the Slytherin team had 49. So I was like, you know what? I'm going on the Slytherin team. Plus, on top of that, the Ravenclaw book was House of Salt and Sorrows, and I hated that book. Just FYI. So I was like, no. Number one, I'm not going to reread that book. And number two, there's way too many people on that team. So I'm just going to go give her up to my other house. So yeah, I ended up joining the Slytherin team for that. So yeah, I guess that is all my books. That is all my anticipated reads for September. And you know, if I get through these and then get through some more, hey, that'll be great. So anyway, I post videos every Wednesday and Saturday, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.